All right, the test review 1 lesson is actually 35 minutes long, and it's a summary of the previous 5 lessons. Everything that we did in lessons 1, everything we did in lesson 2, 3, 4, 5 is contained within this book. So it has a slightly different format to the previous lessons. All right. So get your guide out, take a look. Hopefully you've got the guide in front of you and you can follow along. All right. So I'm going to kind of talk you through this. All right. So here is the first page, all right, of the guide. Okay. Boom. Right here. We're on the first page. If you look at this page, first and foremost, as with any lesson, just read whatever, it's telling you at the top, all right? So the time required in the top right-hand corner is 35 minutes. There are 209 tracks in this, and there's actually 184 backing tracks. Actually, 209 backing tracks. That needs to be updated. All right, so basically, we'll talk about the backing tracks later. All right. As you can see, if you look on your left-hand side, we've got lesson 1, and this is just a summary of lesson 1 down to the black line halfway down the page. All right, so the whole of the book for lesson 1 that we did in the first, 5 months ago or around that time. Lesson 1 is just literally right here. So the way it works is, as you know, with lesson 1, lesson 2, they took about half an hour per lesson. Well, lesson 1 here is going to take about 5 minutes. Okay, it's actually just a shortened portion of the original lesson. Okay, that is how we go through it. Okay. You've noticed that as we go through the course, each module has a progressive speed loop built into it, where it starts slow and it gradually gets quicker. Well, now you are just getting the shortened part of the lesson, the end part of every module, the fastest part. All right. Instead of a module repeating, 10 times, 12 times, which is where you had the time to practice it. Now this is just going to be testing how fluent you are with the material. All right, you're going to spend a whole month working on test review 1. Okay, and even beyond that, we'll cover that later. You're going to literally be putting on lesson 1 on the audio, and we just want to see how fluent you are with the material. So you're going to start the long tones that were 30 seconds each are now going to take approximately 8 seconds each, the short tones, okay, and that will be module 1 done in about a minute. Then it's going to go on to module 2, okay, B, C 4 times, then AC 4 times, GC 4 times, then it's going to go to A sharp B. All right, so if you follow the numbering, it's going to usually go from left to right. All right, this should not be new material to you. This is review. Okay, it's going to highlight any areas that you're weak or that you've forgotten. Come lesson 3, 4, if you're rusty on those, it's going to show up real fast, and you may need to go back to the original lesson 4 and work on a particular module. All right, so you can interact now between the test review and the lessons. All right, I recommend, just for fun, just trying to go through the entire test review 1. It'll take you 35 minutes, and your goal is to eventually be able to play through all this content, all right, so that we get you off the books of lessons 1 through 5. We can summarize it all here. Okay, so it's almost like we're just now bringing all of that material together in one lesson, which is a test review lesson. All right, we want to bring you up to this level, okay, with the basic vocabulary that we've been learning so far in all 12 keys. And that is, we've literally done 209 different tracks so far between lessons 1 through 20, 1 through 5, okay, with 20 modules. contained within those first 5 lessons. So I just really want to make sure you understand that really clearly. I'm not going to play through the entire lesson for you, but I will just start a little bit. I'll just start off, and you basically just going to be playing through it. Okay, you're going to need your book on the stand so that you can see what's coming up. It's a very fast-paced lesson. As soon as it moves to the next key, you need to move with it. Okay. And so you're going to have to pay attention. Maybe just for your first time, you might just want to put it on and listen to it and just follow along with it, all right? Even for half an hour if you wanted to do that, all right? See if you can just, follow along with it, okay? It is going to be moving very quickly. I'm just going to give you that disclaimer now, all right? As you keep working on it each day, you should get more tighter and tighter. What I'm actually training you to do here is to be able to respond to change. Music is always changing, like especially when you're playing, you've got to get sensitive to changing, all right? And that is part of what I'm teaching you in this program, the ability to be able to respond to changes, all right? So the first assignment, the first goal for you is to be able to work through this and just keep up with the changes. Maybe just take lesson 1 and see how you get through that first. You could even do a lesson and then come back and try the test review straight after, all right? Because it's going to be the fastest portions. It's going to be the last, if the regular exercise is maybe 45 seconds, well, you're only going to get the last 3 repetitions, which may be 10 seconds. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but this is, trust me, like this is a wonderful lesson once you get used to doing this way. This is how I practice all the time. I may start with, learning a line from one of my favorite players slowly, but then I just want to be able to execute it at full speed, but I've got to get to that stage first, and that's the same kind of process that we're doing here. All right, so without further ado, let me just, I'll start with lesson 1. I'm going to probably just go through the long tones, and it's just going to flow all the way from lesson 1 to lesson 5, all right? I'm not going to do the full 35 minutes for you. My objective here is to give you the information you need. You then just need to practice it, okay, and work on it. But there'll be no new material in this lesson. It is everything we've done in the previous 5 lessons, all right? So it should be review, and we're going to see how fluent you are with that. All right, so let's get going. Let me grab my saxophone here and start us at lesson 1, module 1, test review 1. So I'm now on F sharp, F, B flat, C. Again, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, C. 6 each. A, B flat, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. A flat, B flat, 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 A flat, B flat. G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A. S sharp, G sharp, S sharp, G sharp, G sharp, S sharp. F, G, F, G, F, G, F, G, F, G, F, G. S sharp, E, S sharp, E, S sharp, E, S sharp, E, S sharp, E flat, F, G flat, F, G flat, F, G flat, Okay, so that gives you an idea of how the test review works. Continue on with it, working your way through. As you saw, I did a few alternations. I did a little bit of rapidity where I'm practicing the notes, but that's getting a bit more advanced. Your first assignment is just to work towards playing in time with it. You know, it may take you a little while just to keep up and to first assignment, try and make sure you can actually follow along with it, all right? And then, you know, you're gonna be able to get the most out of it by just, you know, learning to follow along and getting your execution and timing good. And so, all right, it's a fun lesson. It gets challenging, more challenging as you get towards lesson 4 and 5, all right? And so, but stick with it. And that concludes the test review 1 lesson, all right? Hope that's been clear, all right? And I'll see you for the second half of the SaxMastery Year 1 course in lesson 6.